Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at the Kelso Sling from Trakke, and this is a really interesting and minimal everyday carry solution. And as I've mentioned a few times on the channel in the past, I'm not the biggest fan of sling bags in general. I just don't really like their aesthetic or size as much as a backpack, but we recently took a look at the Bannock backpack from Trakke and that was very impressive, so I was curious to see what they would bring to a sling like this. And I've been testing this out for the past couple of weeks, and so far it's been a really good experience. The bag has an awesome build quality. I really like the amount of space that it offers for a sling bag, and it also comes with a really nice internal organizational layout. So I'm really excited to share it with you guys, and I want to thank the company for sending the sling for me to test out. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the outside of the sling, this definitely has a really minimal appearance. It doesn't really have any external pockets or attachment points, so it just has a really clean look that feels like it's gonna blend in well into a ton of different environments and not really call attention to the fact that you're actually carrying a bag. And as far as the appearance, to me, I don't really like how sling bags look. As I mentioned in the intro, it's just not really my personal style. This one in particular also looks a little bit more like a purse to me, in my opinion, than some of the other sling bags that I've seen. So it's just not my particular preference for how a bag could look, but you know, I know that's gonna vary depending on everyone's kind of personal style choices and maybe even where they live, as some of these things might be more common in different areas around the globe. And then besides that, for the appearance, this is offered in a few different colors. The version that I have here is the olive color, but it's also offered in a black and a cumin color. And then moving into the materials, this has a really solid build quality, similar to what we saw with the Bannock backpack. It's just made out of a really nice dry wax finish canvas that feels like it's gonna hold up well over the longer term and just age really nicely. And then on the outside, you also have this rugged cotton strap for the side handle and for the shoulder strap, and then you also have this stainless steel buckle. And then to top it all off, you have a very nice and well-protected YKK zipper at the top. And then moving back to the strap, so far this has been pretty comfortable to wear. It is a little bit on the thinner side and it doesn't offer much padding, but due to the size of the sling, I haven't noticed any issues with kind of fatigue or this digging into my shoulders. And I like the length of the strap that's been included here, as it makes it very easy to adjust and wear the bag how you prefer, so you can easily use it as a shoulder bag or a sling bag. And then it has these nice stainless steel buckles that kind of prevent the bag's length from shifting too much. It really has a secure hold. And then on top of that, to just give you some extra peace of mind, you have this quick release buckle that allows you to take the bag off a little bit more easily when you need to. And it also, in my opinion, feels like it's gonna help prevent this strap length from shifting, from maybe pulling the bag over your head and accidentally ruining the adjustment. So nice to have that extra feature here. One thing that I will call out about the strap, however, is that it would have been nice to be able to fully remove it in case you didn't want to actually use this as a sling bag. Due to the size of this pouch, this almost seems like it could have been just a nice organizational area to toss into a larger bag. So kind of wish that this buckle had been included on both sides here, but regardless, the hold on these feels very secure. And then on the side, you also have this handle that I mentioned a little bit earlier, which is great for kind of pulling the bag over and holding it in place when you have it kind of on the front of you and you're trying to reach down and grab something. It makes it a little bit more comfortable to just kind of reach around and grab the bag when you have it on your back. And then moving into the capacity, the bag comes in at about 5 liters, which is actually a lot more space than I was anticipating from when I first saw the size of this sling. And even with the items that I currently have in here, which is quite a bit, as we'll see in a second, you can tell that it doesn't get too bulky or big, which I really like. And then moving into what's on the inside of the bag, at the top, again, you have a well-protected YKK zipper. And one thing that I did want to call out about this zipper is that you'll have to be very careful when closing it to make sure to get the zipper all the way into the corner to just make sure that there's no gaps if you happen to get caught in some rain. So it took me a little while to kind of push this close, and it's something that I constantly had to be checking as I was testing this out. So it would have been nice to maybe have an extra flap or zipper to garage on the edge here for that extra peace of mind. And so pulling this open, on the inside is where you really have a lot of very nice organization so that this doesn't just become a huge bucket of space. So love how this has been laid out here. Jumping in, first I'll just kind of touch upon some of the larger items that I threw in. And you can see here that even with the items that I have, there's still space at the top if I wanted to rest a smaller water bottle, maybe a small jacket or an umbrella. So I like that it's not fully packed out. And so just kind of floating in the main area, I currently have my iPad mini, and that fit in there pretty comfortably. It wasn't a super tight fit. This will probably also fit a Nintendo DS or something like that. And then I also have a full-size moleskin notebook. And then I also threw in my Ray-Ban sunglasses with their case. And then the last item that I have floating down at the bottom is my GoPro Hero 3 Plus. So as you can see now with this area a little bit emptier, I love how much space is offered here. If you have maybe a point and shoot camera or a smaller mirrorless camera, you can probably place it in here. It's not gonna be super padded, but it really does offer just more space than I was expecting, plenty of volume even for something a little bit bulkier. But then if you don't want everything just kind of floating around and turning into a mess, you have tons of pockets along the sides of this main area to kind of keep everything easy to find and organize. So just kind of going all the way around, starting off here in the middle, you have a simple slip pocket where I threw in a lightning cable to charge my phone. And then next to that, you have a slightly smaller compartment, which might be a good spot for anything thinner that you have to hold. What I threw in here was my KeySmart Pro. And then on the other side, I have a slip pocket that I didn't end up using. That was one thing that I noticed as I tried to organize everything, is that I just had so many different options that I didn't have enough items. So I just kind of left this one empty, but it's a similar size to the other ones that I showed. So if I wanted to toss in something like a portable hard drive or maybe a wireless mouse, it should be able to fit in there okay. And then in this one on the other side in the middle, I just threw in my BluePop portable Bluetooth speaker and power bank. So you can see just how bulky this is and how comfortably it fit into this pocket. And then one thing that I did want to mention about all of these slip pockets is that they don't have a ton of elasticity. So the volume that you see here is pretty much what you get. And even though it's plenty of space, it would have been nice for these to just stretch a little bit to give you some extra flexibility with what you could store here. And then moving on, in this compartment, you also have a small loop that you can use to attach something with a carabiner. So I have an S carabiner here along with a small multi-tool, but this would have been another great spot to maybe attach something like my keys. And then that also had a slip pocket here that kind of pairs with that loop so that whatever you attach isn't floating around wildly. And then next to that, at the edge of the compartment here, you have a smaller slot that's going to be a great spot for something like a pen or a stylus. What I currently have here is just the Everyman Click Pen Mini. This is one of the ones that I've been testing out a lot recently. I've really enjoyed using this. And then on the other side, you have one additional slip pocket. So you really have an organizational area all the way around. And this one here, I just threw in my Apple AirPods. You can see that they kind of snuck towards the bottom as the compartments are a little bit deeper, but just really love having so many different ways that you can kind of configure everything. So if you're OCD about all of your items during the day, it's really nice that each one can kind of have its own spot. And then that you have this large kind of big bucket of space in the middle for anything bulkier that doesn't fit into these compartments. And then once the bag is empty, one of the things that I really like about slings in general is the fact that it can collapse down so small. So when it's empty, you can see that it's super, super thin, which makes it very easy to pack into a larger travel bag. So if you're traveling and you have a large backpack, but you don't want to walk around the city while you're exploring, you can kind of take this out, just fill it up with some of the things that you need with you, and then be on your way. So I just really love the versatility of something small and flat like this that you can pretty much put anywhere. So overall, just a really solidly built and versatile sling. And if the appearance is something that doesn't bother you and you're just looking for something simple that's going to offer plenty of space and organization, then this is going to be a fantastic option to check out. And so to wrap up, it's been a really good experience testing out the Kelso Sling over the past couple of weeks. It has a really solid build quality, an impressive amount of space, and I really like its internal organizational layout. And so you can currently purchase this on Trek's site at about 70 pounds, which at the time of filming translates to about 90 US dollars. So considering the features and build quality that this offers, it feels like a reasonable price, and it also compares very well to other similar sling bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the sling bag that this most reminded me of was the Dayfarer sling that we looked at a while back, and I really enjoyed using that one as it was also a little bit of a larger sling that had a great internal organizational layout. It was able to hold a tablet, and one of the biggest differences with that one is just that it had a much more modern aesthetic. It was made out of ballistic nylon and it just looked like a very techy sling. So if that's more your aesthetic and you're just looking for something durable that you're gonna be able to take with you on your day-to-day, then that's gonna be a great option to check out. Another bag that this made me think of is the Model No. 1 briefcase from Daniels, which we looked at a while back, and that was a really nice leather briefcase that offered plenty of internal organization, and it's also a little bit bigger than this, so if you're somebody who needs to carry a laptop into the office and you want something that's going to be durable and very professional looking, then that's going to be another great option to keep in mind. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Bannock backpack from Trakke, which we looked at recently. And again, I really enjoyed using that bag. I love the classic aesthetic that it has. The build quality on it is phenomenal, and it just has a really simple but effective organizational layout. So if you like something like this that's, handmade in Scotland, that just has a really nice classic aesthetic and that's going to be with you for many years to come, but you prefer more of a backpack style of carry, and that's going to be a fantastic option to keep in mind. With that being said, the Kelso Sling holds up really well against all those bags, and if you're looking for a durable and minimal everyday carry solution that's going to offer a nice amount of space and organization, this is going to be a great option to check out. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of the Kelso Sling and how it compares to a lot of the other popular sling bags that are currently on the market. And if there are any similar options that you think I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company again for sending the bag for me to test out. And if you found this video helpful, please give us a like. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.